Can you say and spell your name just so I have it for the record?
Sure, Brent Sibley, Brent Sibley.
And Brent, how did you come into the world of combat control?
Well, I had never heard of combat control. In my day, we only had Navy SEALs and Green Berets. And I got a call at work one day from my son, and he told me he was quitting his job and joining the military, and indicated he was going to be a U.S. Air Force combat controller. And I inquired as to what that was, and he said, "Just Google it, Dad." So I did, and it was quite a revelation there to see what in the world he had chosen as a career field, which turned out to be pretty good.
Can you tell me a little bit about your son?
Yeah, Forrest was born in Shreveport. We grew up for the first few years in Shreveport, and then relocated to Huntsville, and then where we spent the majority of his life there in Aniana, Alabama. And when he'd gone to school there, high school, played sports, went a couple of years to Gadsden State College there. And my dad had gotten him a job down in Pensacola, so he relocated to Pensacola there and worked for about a year and a half. And that's when he decided he didn't want to work in the conventional world. He wanted more. And when I quizzed him about doing that, he said, "I'm bored. I hate this job. There's got to be more." And he did some good background and extensive checks on what he wanted to do. He researched all the branches of the military and landed on combat control and said, "This is what I want to do." And in the best way he could, tried to explain that without getting too graphic and scaring me to death with what that job required. So he came full circle, but good way. He loved to hunt, loved to fish, loved the outdoors, loved sports, and so we shared a lot of the same common interest and spent a lot of time together in those hobbies and career field things and doing.
And if you could expand upon, so you're in this combat control world because of your son. What has combat control community done for you?
Well, of course, it was been a learning process from day one because I had no prior knowledge of combat control. Didn't know even everything I learned about combat control initially. I had just looked at the Air Force recruitment videos and I had watched some videos of combat controllers in action in Afghanistan and other parts of the world, and in various roles that they did, and looked at some of the training videos that were posted, and started to get a little idea of what combat control was all about. And Forrest got into the pipeline at Lackland there, basic and selection, and I went down and for his graduation there. And as I learned, it was almost a step-by-step process because I didn't know what the end result was. I really didn't even understand the pipeline or the schools that he had to go through and the training. But as we went through, I stayed pretty connected with him. We spoke as often as possible, and he would kind of fill me in on what they were doing and how he was doing and what training capacity they were operating in. And so I learned as I kind of went through the pipeline with him, standing on the outside looking in, and learning just as much as he did, going along and asking questions and watching what he did. And so it's been kind of an evolution, and the language, all the terminology was totally foreign to me, but that took a little getting used to. And but as we progressed, and by the time he graduated combat control school, I was a lot more knowledgeable about what the career field encompassed and what the job was and all the nature of the beast, so to speak. And very proud, when he graduated combat control school and got his beret, it was quite a momentous day to see him do that. And of course, he was thrilled to go to STTS at Hurlburt because that was like almost home, being on the coast. And his first 2 assignments were at the 2-3 there at Herbie, and he was thrilled about that. And so were we, because it was close to Mom and Dad, and we could stay connected. And that was just a learning process all the way through. And even still today, it's still I hear and see and learn things from a lot of the guys that are either both active and retired that I love the stories, love to hear and talk about the history, and it's been a good ride so far.
So, at the event of the loss of your son, I know you kind of talked about this in Vegas, how you kind of went into we're kind of lost.
Yeah.
But then you took that and you refocused yourself, and there's property, right? There's like this, and that you're using that property to give back to the combat control community. Yes.
Forrest and I had been looking around for some property for I don't know, 6 or 8 months, and because he had come to and he said, "Dad, I want to get a place for my guys." And of course, I understood what he was talking about when he said that. I knew he meant his brother's combat control, and he wanted a place for them to come and enjoy being away from the military influence of the base and deployments and TDYs, and a place to get away and do their own thing and be together and have fun. So we had been looking around, and in June of 2015, we found some property that had been for sale that we knew about the property. And we contacted the lady who was the owner, and we were able to combine some of his deployment money and some saving money that I had, and we were able to acquire the property. And so that was June of 2015, and then, of course, he deployed in August and wasn't able to make it back. But I went into a pretty dark place there for about a year, and finally just decided, okay, that's enough. Time to get on with it. And I remember very distinctly some words that he had said and told me about, "Dad, I want a place for my guys." And so I used that as a focal point to say, okay, I've got this property. I'm going to use that and do that, accomplish that goal and that mission, so to speak, that he wanted to do. So for the last 6.5, 7 years, I've put all my time and energy into developing that for controllers to have a place to come out and both help their mental state of mind, enjoy time with their families, enjoy time with their teammates in whatever capacity they choose.
Where's this located?
It's in extreme lower Alabama, about 800 yards from the Florida line. It's about roughly 10 miles west of Wing, Alabama, which is kind of a little spot on the map down there. But it's located on a dead-end road. It's very peaceful, very quiet for the most part. A few military aircraft, and we hear some of the guys over at the training facility there at Altus doing a little bit of shooting occasionally. But it's a place that you can get away and just enjoy being out, off the grid kind of thing. And I've since developed it and done all I can. It's an ongoing work in progress, as I tell people, because I don't know if there's an end sight, an end game with the thing, but it's an ongoing progress of development and getting a team cabin. We just got a team building out there that we can put a whole team in and have them a place to all be together and sleep, hang out, and whatever they want to do. And there's camping areas and trails and roads and places where they can pretty much do whatever they want to, be at a team event or with their family.
Awesome. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Well, I certainly enjoy being at these reunions, and I love hanging out with the teams. Occasionally go to North Carolina, and I go to Hurlburt more often, of course, but I love hanging out with the team guys, and I love coming to reunions to meet the guys that are some of the earliest controllers all the way to present day, and hearing the history and learning the history and hearing their stories, and I can't get enough of that. I love that stuff, and so it's been really good, and I thank the combat control guys that have supported me and the teams that have taken me in and kind of given me the wherewithal to kind of keep going, and they hold me up a lot, and I rely on them, and they really help a lot.
Awesome.
It's been a great ride so far. I know Forrest will be happy I'm doing what I'm doing.